Hey guys, my name is Flawed. Welcome back to another book review we are doing. And today we are doing the book of Third John. So Third John is one of the shortest books in the Bible. Only like 15 verses, so it's not hard to read, but there is a lot of good stuff in here. So, going to the first question we always ask, who wrote the book? This book is also written by John the Apostle, or as they call it in this book, John the Elder. He also wrote 2nd John and 1st John. Shocker. So the central character of this book is written to Gaius, his friend, but the central characters are also Diotrephes and Demetrius. And I guess you can also say like the Lord's worker, like the Lord's teachers. Okay, amen. So the purpose of the writing of this letter is a short letter. This short letter is a personal note from the Apostle John to his friend Gaius. Apparently, Gaius regularly welcomed traveling workers of the Lord, or in another version it says itinerant preachers into his home. John commended Gaius for his deeds and encouraged him to continue his ministry. He can also commend Gaius for like his hospitality. John also denounced the actions of Diotrephes, who refused to acknowledge the authority of John and his associates, and essentially condemning Diotrephes for his pride and opposition to John. But he commended Demetrius. Okay, so yeah, we when you read, you see that Diotrephes was just a mean guy, and he was a hater for no reason. Well, for a reason, because he had the enemy. Anyways, moving on to the 3 key points arrived in this book. So the first one is commending Gaius for his faithfulness and hospitality. So you find that in the beginning of the chapter, and you find it more in verse 5. And that one says, Dear friend, you are being faithful to God when you care for the traveling teachers who pass through, even though they are strangers to you. So even though they are strangers, he is showing them a loving friendship and inviting them into his home. How crazy is that? Like, to have faith and to trust a stranger into your home, into where you live, into where your family is, because they follow the Lord. But it's because they follow the Lord that you're able to welcome them into your house. You're able to trust them because they are leaving their home to go out and tell others about God. So that's the first key point, was commending Gaius for his faithfulness and hospitality. The second key point, which ties into the first one, is encouraging hospitality toward fellow Christians, or of course teachers, itinerant preachers, workers of the Lord. And they encourage that in verse 6, where it says, They have told the church here of your loving friendship. Please continue providing for such teachers in a manner that pleases God. So we must provide for them in a way that pleases God. And when I read that, I was like, I want to make them sleep on the couch in a way that pleases God. I let them sleep on the bed and I go to the couch, because they are doing the Lord's work. So they should be treated in like a good manner. And so they would get the bed and at the couch, because that just pleases the Lord more, how I see it. Amen. And then moving on to the last and third key point found, it's condemning Diotrephes for his pride and lack of hospitality. And we find that starting in verse 9, and I'll go ahead and read it. It says, I wrote to the church about this, but Diotrephes, who loves to be the leader, refuses to have anything to do with us. When I come, I will report some of the teachings he is doing and the evil accusations he is making against us. So he is refusing to have anything to do with us. And then In verse 10, when I come, I will report some of the things he is doing and the evil accusations he is making against us. Not only does he refuse to welcome the traveling teachers, he also tells others not to help them. And when they do help, he puts them out of the church. So he's being like such a big bully where like the people who do help, he's putting them out of the church. Like, how crazy is that? Because of his pride, he's doing that. And in verse 11, you read, remember that those who do good prove that they are God's children. And that ties in to the second point, which is encourages hospitality towards fellow Christians. Remember that those who do good prove that they are God's children, and those who do evil prove that they do not know God. So, what are you trying to prove? And then, are you proving good or are you proving evil? Are you proving that you are God's child or are you proving that you're not God's child? So again, what you can find in the 3 key points I write in this book are, number 1, we were commending Gaius for his faithfulness and hospitality. Number 2, we were encouraging hospitality towards fellow Christians. And number 3, condemning Diotrephes for his pride and lack of hospitality. So that's the book of 3 John. Thank you all for coming. Have a great day and God bless.